So the key insight is that we are always reinforcing something in our minds. If we follow anxiety, we strengthen anxiety. If we follow attachment, we strengthen attachment. If we act based on desperation, we train our mind to be desperate. So often we find ourselves worrying about the wrong things. For example, we might feel anxious after a conversation, wondering what the other person thinks of us. We get caught up in relationships, idealizing them, falling deeply in love and believing that they will somehow complete us. We obsess over work, about whether we are doing enough, whether we are being perceived the way we want. And all of these thoughts feel so urgent, so real, as if they truly matter in the moment. But what if the real problem isn't any of these external situations? What if the real issue is that we are completely missing what is actually happening inside our minds? For years, I've struggled with social insecurities. After an interaction, instead of investigating why I felt insecure, I would just follow where my mind led me. I worried, I obsessed over what the other person might have thought of me. I looked for confirmation that I was still okay in their eyes. I was blindly obeying my mental afflictions, reinforcing them without even realizing it. And the more I followed those thoughts, the more they shaped my reality. It's the same thing that happened in my past relationships. I fell in love so deeply, so quickly, idealizing the other person. I felt like they could save me, like the relationship itself was a refuge. I felt happy, but that happiness was completely unbalanced. It wasn't real stability. I didn't realize that all the causes I was planting in my mind were actually leading me towards suffering. At the time, I didn't have even a shred of awareness of what was happening. And I was hoping for a future that was impossible, because my choices and my state of mind weren't leading me anywhere healthy. And eventually, I crashed. This doesn't just apply to relationships or social insecurity. It happens in every area of life. Our daily habits, our work, everything. Sometimes people suffer from mental conditions beyond their control, like clinical depression. And in those cases, medical help and treatment can be necessary. But in so many other cases, we don't even see how we are the ones shaping our own suffering. We wonder, why am I feeling depressed? But we never examine the causes that we have been planting for months or years. I remember a period in my life when I was in a long-distance relationship. I had this amazing girlfriend who was living in the UK, and I was completely in love. But I was also behaving like someone I was not, to look good in her eyes. I was faking my confidence. Every 2 weeks, I was either flying to London or she was flying to Italy. On the surface, it looked like I was doing exactly what should have made me happy. But looking back now, I can clearly see that the way I was managing myself in that situation was completely unsustainable. The mindset I had, the mental equilibrium I lacked, the desperate, obsessive motivation behind my choices, it could only lead to one outcome: suffering. And that's exactly what happened. Even today, I still see how easy it is to fall in this pattern. The good thing, though, is that I am improving. I am becoming a little bit more aware. But I don't want to fool myself into thinking that I'm ever gonna be beyond this. Because the truth is, no choice is neutral. Everything we do reinforces something. Either something that brings us more clarity and balance, or something that pushes us towards suffering. If we recognize this, our goal, more than anything else, can become to bring awareness into every moment. To make sure that we are not unconsciously leading our mind toward discouragement, toward sadness, toward depression. So the key insight is that we are always reinforcing something in our minds. If we follow anxiety, we strengthen anxiety. If we follow attachment, we strengthen attachment. If we act based on desperation, we train our mind to be desperate. And then, when we eventually hit a breaking point, we don't even realize how we got there. We blame the situation. We think, I was just following what felt right. But we never stop to ask, Was I actually heading somewhere good? Or was I just blindly reinforcing my old patterns? If we don't develop the habit of looking at what we are reinforcing, we'll keep making the same mistakes. We will keep obsessing over things that don't actually matter, while completely missing the real causes of our suffering. But if we start paying attention, if we start questioning our automatic reactions, if we start seeing what we're actually strengthening, then we can begin to make different choices. And that's when real change starts to happen.